It's 2 p.m. starting now, and thank you so much for selecting this talk over all other magnificent ones. I feel really unfair because from my perspective, all these talks at 2 p.m. are absolutely amazing. So thank you for selecting this. This talk will be about leadership, and it's called Powerful, Powerless Leader. But to be honest, it will be better to name it as like neuroscience of powerful, powerless leader. But neuroscience is so huge, and I'm doing 2 days course on that. And I'm currently thinking about doing 3 days course on that. So it can't be a 45-minute talk on neuroscience of leadership. And also then I thought that it can be a biology of powerful, powerless leader. And then I thought that it's just too much words there. So I left it as is, but it will be a mix of neuroscience, mix of biology, and definitely about leadership, about what differentiates a leader, what is inside, and how biologically we can distinguish, are we leaders or not, are we managers or not, are we like just ordinary people? But I hope that there will be no sort of biologically ordinary people in the room here. It's not the profile of the conference to be such. You might recognize my accent. Who recognizes what type of accent is that? Scottish Cockney?
You are Russian like I am.
Yeah, I'm Russian. So if you wonder how a Russian accent sounds like, enjoy. And I'm really happy that World Cup makes the Russian accent a little bit more popular. So I really like that. And few words about me. I'm old enough to be in Agile from 2004, and I was a Scrum Master, then manager of managers, and so on. And before I came to be a full-time Agile coach, trainer, speaker, and so on, I was working in a large bank in London, and I had about 60 teams working with me in Agile environment. I was a global Agile portfolio delivery manager. 5 words in my position. But this is, so it is not my favorite part about me. This is what I love much more. Initially, I'm a biologist. To be precise, embryologist. So I know everything how to make children. Theoretically, I don't have mine, so it's only theoretical one. Then I moved to IT, then I moved to management. But then I realized embryology is not only about giving birth, it's also about regeneration. If you cut your hand, how it will be healed, why the lizard, if you can take the tail from the lizard, it will have new one, and you cut your hand too much, you will not get the new, all these fancy things about regeneration, energy, and so on. And then I realized that I manage hundreds of people, but somehow inside I do understand what's happening when we adjust the process. I understand what will happen with their brain. I understand how this will be in their body. And I do care about that. And quite logically, I went to coaching and psychology. I'm a psychoanalyst. And currently, I'm studying, on the previous talk, it was mentioning the SCARF model. David Rock's one. I'm studying in his Institute of Leadership. I'm not touching a lot here, but it's a whole new world of how neuroscience can be applied to leadership and how you can be a better leader using neuroscience. And I hope I will be able to give a talk later conferences like this as well. So this is how I think. And one nice thing, it's 7, I think I have 8 educations so far. Have you read this book? Anyone? Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that I expected that it will be 100%. It's David Marquet's book, Turn the Ship Around. He was the captain of the nuclear submarine. Initially, they prepared themselves to the major war with the Soviet Union, but then Soviet Union did a great thing. It collapsed itself, and they don't have any enemy anymore. And he found that the main enemy is inside him. Here is a captain of the nuclear submarine on the US Army. And to be a captain, you need to know everything, every detail of the nuclear submarine. And it takes about a year for them to know that. So they really read books and prepare for the whole year. And he was assigned to the certain submarine with a really good team, so he prepared for that, and that's fine. I initially thought, so what's in there? So you really need a year to teach that. And then I checked with the captain of the spacecraft, Mir. He said that they need 2 years to understand what's happening on the space station. But they, on the space station, they are really T-shaped people. So if someone is not able to do an experiment, they need to be there. So biologists need to be technicians need to be biologists, all of them need to be able to be a captain, so on. 2 years. 2 years just studying everything. He just needs 1 year. But when it was about a month or something like that before the assignment, he got a call, okay, you are assigned to another submarine, and you will not know anything about what's inside. And oh, by the way, it's the worst team ever. What? So it was an awful thing for him. And the most awful thing for him was that he was not able to give orders because he doesn't know what's happening at all. And at that moment, the leadership strategy in US Army and in nuclear submarine fleet was really to give orders. I give order, you just follow the order, and if I give the wrong order, I will not get a feedback about it at all. And then he understood that he's not able to do that. And he went with his team from level 1, tell me what to do and I will do that. Then what he called an intent-based leadership. I intend to do something when people started to think themselves. People start taking responsibility of what is happening and what they are doing. And they saved submarine in several problems. And in a year's time, he got the best, absolutely the best team in nuclear submarine in the fleet. And from the 14 officers of this submarine, 10 later were promoted to be a captain of the submarine as well. So he created a platform of creating leaders. So this is how it's working. What he stated from his experience, give power, create leaders. That's absolutely fine when you have something to give. So you need your power to be able to give that. And this is leader-leader model. When you're a leader, you give power and you create leaders in the team. And that is what we need. This is Kinevin model, by the way, when we're working in the complex and chaotic environments. We don't possibly need that much leaders in the complicated, in the simple ones. Managers are fine there. But we really need leaders for the complex and chaotic ones. And then it was a guy named Robert Greenleaf who read a book about the journey of the group of the people. Previously, before 1970s, there was a leadership idea that leader should be born. Leader should be a king, like that. Leader should be a king, really assigned to that or have some medals to really prove that he can lead people. And then Robert Greenleaf read a book where the group of people was traveling. It was not really nice. I don't remember what happened with their nominal leader, but they were really team, they were really group and did quite well. And then one of the guys went out of the group, and they realized that the leader of the group who built the group together, it was he. His name was Leo. And Leo was a servant. So at that moment, he was not the king. He was not like someone really assigned. He was on the lower than zero, nothing from the rank perspective. And he thought that it's not about how you are named, it's just because who you are. And he defined this as a servant leader and wrote a book, and he's really, really famous. And this is where the servant leadership approach that is really widely known in Agile world came from. And then some people start reading that servant leader is a leader who serves the team. Yeah? It's sometimes be, if you think about it, it's like a service to be given to the team, that's fine. But quite often, it's read like that. It's not a servant leader, but a leader servant, especially when we think about scrum masters, when, especially girls. When it's a young girl, okay, there are stickers, please place stickers on the wall, and by the way, bring us coffee. This is not the way of servant leadership that we really need. And if we think about the servant leader as a leader servant, then we have that the powerless servant need to create powerful leaders. This will not know. We don't need servants for the team. We need leaders who can create more leaders. And then we can rethink that servant leader is the leader who can create the situation when everyone in the team is a leader. And let's think what's inside, who we need to create, what things we need to build inside the people so they're able to be leaders as well. And there is a certain dichotomy between management and leadership. If you're a manager, can you be a leader? Yeah? Yes, you can. If you're a leader, can you be a manager? Yes, you can. Possibly that you're a leader, not manager? Yeah? Manager, not leader? Yeah. It's not that, so it's not mandatory that it's not manager or leader. It's not management or leadership. It's even not servant leader versus leader. But there is one absolute difference between dominant and a leader. Dominant can't be a leader, leader can't be a dominant. And there is absolutely biological thing, and this is why I put animals on the screen here. There is a science called ethology or ethology that studies behavior of animals and people as well. And it has two large branches. One branch studies animals in the cage, in the zoos or in the cage, and another studies them in the wild nature. And they found that there is absolute difference of behavior. Because in the cage, you are not hunting for food. In the cage, you behave certain way, so you follow the rules of this cage, and then the food will be given to you. In the wild nature, there are no certain rules. You are on your own, and you are hunting for food, and then you get your result. And there is a huge difference, absolutely. What is happening when a person or an animal are placed in the cage? And please notice that cage can be not only physical, but cage is more like a mentality. A cage can be inside us, and cage can be what we think about where we are, about our jobs, about our circumstances, about our companies, anywhere. What do you think is the most well-known mental cage or physical cage for people? Have an idea? Work can be? Work can be?
Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs, this is what places us in this cage as well. Stress society. What, like, society, work definitely can be, guys, it's army. It's prison. It's school. These are caged environments that we definitely know we were there. It takes really a lot of energy to keep your mind out of the cage, being in the cage inside. And there can be companies that are caged environments, but people inside can be without cages and that can be in cages. Those that follow and feel themselves in the cage are dominants. Those that don't follow and feel themselves not in the cage are leaders. What happens with the body if you feel inside as being in the cage? Cage has limited amount of, like, around you, so you don't need dopamine. You don't need things to explore environment outside because it's limited. You don't need a lot of testosterone. You don't have a lot of children because the space is limited. You don't need a lot of adrenaline because the space is limited. Everything is limited. And then the hormone level goes down. And people start feeling really old. Physically old, even if they're 25, even if they're 30, they really start feeling old, like 50 and 60 in the normal stage. And in that case, in wild nature, these people who feel old and they are really not, they start behaving like protecting their status, protecting themselves from other people who are inside, and feel that progress and status and how many people are waiting for the food, or how many people are waiting for the corner cubicle, or for the nice, like for the promotion and so on. And for the leader in the wild nature, progress is just in your results, how good you are in achieving good results. Dominant will not survive without followers. And leader is not the person who has followers. Leader doesn't need followers. They will be, but he doesn't need that. He is not following others. This is the difference. And for the dominant, change is the main threat. So these type of people who have cages in their heads, they try to protect themselves from the younger, from other leaders, from everyone, try to protect themselves from the change, reduce uncertainty, and so on. And leaders really comfortable with uncertainty. I don't know what's happening there. Let's go. We will figure out. I have quite a lot of energy. We will be able to manage everything that we have there. Dominant is aggressive to the inner circle, and leader is aggressive to the outer circle. That's the difference. And dominant, even if you think that this person is aggressive, he's bossy, he's behaving like a really large manager, he will never ever be perceived as a boss. There are parts of the brain here close to the brainstem. This is our inner crocodile that do understand if a person is leader or not. You will never be able to tell him that this person is a leader. No way. And leader gives a permission to achieve the goal. Goal is there. Let's go. That's what leader does. This is again a picture of the dominant and leadership behavior. And it's important for us as agilists in environments that we can think of a caged environments, that dominant will be the person who pushes everyone from the forward. And what leader does? Leader will be the person who will start an agile transformation. Agile is absolute leadership environment. It's not managerial, it's not dominant environment. It's absolute leadership environment. So they all will run from the cage or create areas of non-caged environments. In this can be school, can be army, can be prison, can be corporate environment. And these people will stay free. And I really think that people who start agile transformation, agile coaches, scrum masters, product owners, have this leadership type of profile as well. And from the biological perspective, leaders know where tasty things are, so let's go there, or how we can think and change our environment here, so tasty things will grow right here. So there are two types of leaders' job overall. First is looking for the new. I'm a biologist, fish again. These are fish really well known to maintaining great school of fish. These names are Golian fish. They are perfect for being in a group. If one goes there, everyone follows that, so they practically feel each other's. So that's fine. But sometimes there is one fish that finds something interesting, and it goes there, and then sometime, oh, I'm alone. The school of fish is there. I'm alone, so I don't understand what's happening. And it's frightened, and it goes back. But sometimes this interesting is so interesting that this fish doesn't pay attention to what's happening in the school at all. And then in some time, it happens that there are more fishes around it. And it creates the new school of fishes that goes in the different direction. We are not Goliaths. We are a little bit more complicated. But the type of leadership is like that. When a person finds something interesting that is really exciting to him, and he doesn't ask for permission at all. He just starting doing that. What do you have? Oh, what you're doing? Oh, that's great. Can I join you? Oh, that's a nice article. Oh, that's a nice video. Can we join you? Can I follow you? Can we go there together? So this type of leadership gets followers just on the interest. They don't need any managerial things, it's just an interest. It's what's ingrained in us. The second type of job is to protect the team. This is when we think about Scrum Master who removes impediments and maintains trust inside the team. This is type of leadership that we need. Leader gets better resources, more beautiful women, better food, but but if something happens, it will be the leader who will come first and fight with the enemy. So he needs this energy, and there is an agreement with the team and the leader. So we will give you more resources, but please use these resources to protect the team. And with these two types of jobs, there are three inner components of a leader that we will come now. First is a rank potential. Rank potential is how large the personality is. And this is again a perceived personality, how a person thinks what fits him. I can think about myself as a truck driver, and this is absolutely fine for me. I don't want anything else. Or I want to be a new Steve Jobs. And I think that I really can do, and I'm doing something about it, not only dreaming about that. Or it can be in between. Or we can think about starting a business. I can start a local business that can be on this street. I can start a business that can be in this town. I can make it this country. I can think about the world expansion. And this sits inside the brain. And it depends on, it's the anticipation. The anticipation of the results, not being afraid of the large results, and it runs on two hormones. It's dopamine and testosterone, for women as well. Dopamine is an anticipation, and this is what gives us energy to perceive our goals. And rank potential is sort of close to be inborn thing, and this is activity. So dopamine is neurotransmitter, so it goes between neurons and then it transfers information. But it's the amount of receptors to dopamine that are important. And there can be 10,000 dopamine receptors, like per inch, and can be 40,000 receptors per inch. So people who think large, they tend to have more dopamine receptors, and they really get pleasure and really anticipate results, global results, and get more results, and so on. We can think about them as addicted to some results. But to remain healthy dopamine system, you should avoid any other addiction. Social networks, definitely drugs, gaming, gambling, everything like that. It just ruins the dopamine system and lowers the rank potential. And the testosterone is, again, activity thing that you need to maintain to be able to achieve a lot. The second one is primitivity. Primitivity is a thing that high primitivity will be, I think that my wishes and desires are the most important. I don't care about others at all. I don't care about societies, families, so they're not important at all, only me. Low primitivity, it means that there is no me. All wishes of society, of my family, should be done first, and I forget about myself at all. Medium is just medium, just like sort of normal. And the third is vitality. Vitality is the actual amount of energy that you get and that you can maintain over like period, I think not during the day because it can fluctuate a little bit, something like week or month and so on. I will go really quickly through the model because it's not our goal to go through that model. I will stop on a few moments that are important for leadership. We can think about amount of energy about us like a cell phones, with 0 being a coma. So the brain is working, but practically everything else is not. And we think about ourselves with an amount of energy recovering from a serious illness. Going, swallowing and digestion, then very, very simple things that we can do. Then again, a little bit better, know the roots. On 25%, people can start working with the manual labor. On 30%, get more energy and start being able for some mental type of jobs. And the first stop will be on 35%. These people can do very simple intellectual jobs, able to understand are they on time or not really precise, but just in general. Really panic if anything changes, and confident in the known environment, but really hate any changes. Do you want this type of person in your team? Not really. Maybe one. 33% is the average amount of energy in the office workers worldwide. It's even not 35, it's even lower. If we want people in the agile teams, we can't take just the average worker, and that's the problem. And this is what I'm doing with the companies, with the teams, is we take this type of people and we have certain procedures, certain changes in the process, so we move them to the next levels. On level 40, there is ability to manage, not lead yet, but ability to manage. And this is the difference of understanding personal boundaries. There is a little bit higher primitivity, so I understand where I am and where other people are. 45% is when I really can understand where are my goals, internal goals, and when are external goals, and it's important. And it's only 50-55% when leadership starts showing. It's the leadership of the team level. 35%, 55%. This is the difference of the average worker and what we expect from our leaders. And it's top management. For the management, it's okay to be about 50-55%. For the leaders, it's about team level. For who are agile coaches and change agents in the room? Yeah, this is your level. This is your lowest level. Because to be able to be an agile coach to transform teams, companies, huge organizations, you really need to understand that others are different, and you need to be able to change what needs to be changed and maintain what doesn't need to be changed. It's higher level. Then it goes 65-75%, and it's the level when people start their companies, they start bringing existing knowledge together to create their own ideas, their own framework, something like that. It's thought leadership. Absolute majority of the top agile coaches that write books, and we know them from their frameworks and so on, are on that level. And if I know quite a lot of people on that level, I don't know anyone on that level. And that's a person who runs the country, who is known at the world level. And the only difference between 80 and 100% is how many years, decades, and centuries will people remember this person. For the Hippocrates, Alexander the Great, so there are centuries and thousands of years we do remember them. This is 100. About the Steve Jobs, even 80 or 100, we will know in a few centuries. Do we still remember him? Or he will be forgotten in 2 decades. Then he will be 80. So this is the difference. So this is the absolute thing. It's not only for you. It's the absolute thing that's in. And I have quite a lot of questions. So, okay, this is thing about the energy, how I can understand what energy I have. So I just shown the general ladder of the energy. And you can think about what is your maximum of what you think about yourself. What's the maximum thing? And the maximum thing of this energy battery is your rank potential. If you think about yourself really to be next Steve Jobs, it's 70. If it's okay for you to run your own company worldwide, it's about 75. If you think that agile coaching job is good and you will really fit it, it's about 60. If you think about yourself as a top manager or a good team leader, like several teams leader, it's about 55%, and so on. If you feel yourself like not going to be a manager because it's scary and so on, this is something like 40 maximum, so 35, 40, and so on. Weltering, a very nice app that allows to, it's the old one, they changed it a little bit, but I love the old one a little bit more, because it just shows the numbers. Energy level and the stress level, they are like going like that. And here, if I see 45% of energy, with about 75 being my maximum of rank potential, it means that it's about 40 in that case, so not really good. This application also helps to understand what adds energy to yourself. So for someone it's running, for someone it's meditation. Okay, I tried meditation, I didn't understand why I'm not like loving it as I should. I tried this app, went for a 20-minute guided meditation, checked it again, plus 11% of stress. No way. I went to my psychologist and said, Olga, what's happening? Yes, she said, you're not the personality type who will work well with meditation. I said, what should I do? She said, start digging. Find a piece of soil and start digging, or start lifting something heavy, not running, not meditation, not yoga, but digging and lifting, this type of thing. And I asked this head of the spacecraft mirror if they are really doing this HRV, that is the base of this research. He said yes, they really have their heart rate variance measured, and if it's going too high, too low, so it's absolutely identical, then stress level is too high, and they just go and rest and don't do anything on the spacecraft. So it's really working, they're really using that. And when we're thinking about these three components of a leader, as inside the brain, it's McNeil's triune brain model, that rank potential is how healthy our crocodile is. It's our reptilian brain. Primitivity is how we deal with others, who is more important. This is our mammalian brain. And vitality is how healthy our neocortex is. This is our real human brain. Let's try. We have a few minutes. This is a profile of the person. He has absolute rank potential, sort of 100. He has absolute high primitivity, so he doesn't care about anyone at all. And he has huge amount of energy. Who's that? Donald Trump, not yet. At least he wears suits, so and doesn't kill people in public. Vladimir Putin, there is a tragedy of Vladimir Putin, as his rank potential is not 100. He is the leader of the average. And this is why average is so well going with him, so they really like him. But people with high rank potential, he doesn't like people with high rank potential first, and people with high rank potential doesn't love him. Donald Trump, he has lower primitivity yet. Who has higher primitivity than Donald Trump, even? No, not yet. Sorry? I don't, possibly no. If we think about,
Barack Obama.
no, he's no.
Boris Johnson.
So Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, they might be close. Primitivity for them is slightly lower. They're a little bit more normal. If he will be promoted to be a mafia boss, yes, he will be. This is mafia boss. Yeah. So this level of primitivity with this level of energy, this is a high criminal. Sometimes this can be a head of a company that has criminal roots, so it's criminal. What's that? Normal primitivity, vitality is not 100, but sort of 80, still very high. Who's that? Trump can be, yeah. President, Prime Minister, yeah. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, this can be profile of a really well-known person on the Earth level. Who's that? Everybody? No. Would you love to work with this person? Sorry?
They're arguably just as bad as the first one because they don't seem to have there's something about them, like everything is so equal, nothing outreaches the other one.
Yeah, everything is so equal, but it's really good for the person. This is happy person. He wants what he has, and he has what he wants. It's absolutely fine. So it's really happy. It's really happy person, and it depends on the environment. This person can be absolute amazing employee, or in more creative environments, we might want a little bit rank potential a little bit higher, but taking in so if 33 is average, this is about 50. It's really a good person, and yeah, I would love to have a team of such people in my agile environment. Who's like that? Troublemaker? Why? A lot of energy, but
low rank potential.
yeah.
Potential lower than the energy.
Yes. This is quite difficult thing if you are leader or of the team or manager when you have this person. You think he has a good potential. He still has a lot of energy. He possibly can do more, but he doesn't want. And when you're a leader, you have high rank potential, and we tend to think that people are the same as we are, and people should want more. But this person doesn't want, and he has a lot of energy. He's quite happy as well. But I would not love to work with such person. And who's that? Depressed, yeah? Depressed or quite low level of the burnout. My second favorite topic, so in fact they are all interconnected about the energy and the burnout. This is the burnout person. So not depending on the rank potential, primitive is just normal, vitality is really low. And the problem here is that it is perceived by other people, and the level of what this person will be able to achieve is like that. It will be kept by the vitality. So if you have lower vitality than your rank potential, you will not be able to fulfill your rank potential. And in that case, what you will be able to achieve as a leader, as a manager, what type of career you will have, how happy and fulfilled you will be at work, depends on one thing. Will you be able to maintain quite high level of energy over the course of time, over years and decades, or not? Or you will be burnt out. And unfortunately, I know so many great leaders who experience several sets of burnouts. And every burnout lowers rank potential or maximum vitality that you have 5%. 5%. You remember the difference between being a manager and a leader is about 10%. 2 burnouts, and you will not be able, and will be perceived as a leader, but will be able to do only managerial type of job. This is really, really dangerous. So leader is an amount of energy. That's it. And manifestos. I want to be there over the fear of unknown. This is rank potential. I want to be there over being in a crowd. This is primitivity. I want to be there, and I have power, I have energy to go there. This is vitality. And when we think about this energy thing and the standard leaders' jobs that we have, we can think about type of leader again. Very large, very great, looking for the new ability, and large, want to protect the team. Really great leader. Do you want this leader to hire this leader in your team? Possibly, but you will not be able to. This person will hire yourself. This type of leader, this size of leader with equal and really large capabilities, this will be like owner of the company or like a thought leader, something like that. And that is why, because we can't find a lot of such level of leaders, and Agile need leaders, we found like that. Scrum Master should be a leader with large percentage of protection and a little bit for looking for new. Why we need looking for new? Yeah, find improvements. If you have just, there is no leader with only one circle, with only one type of job. If it's only protecting, it will be stagnation. We need looking for new to find something new what we can improve. The same thing for product owner. He should be really good in finding new, but at the same time, this finding new should be good enough for the team, so we really can create this product, and we really will have customers for this product. So we need a little bit for protection. And for the team, you will have this type of leadership profiles as well. And it was an absolute revelation for me, because this type of profile is, I'm not sure that it's inborn, but it's quite stable. And I just realized that for about 12 years, I've got a career of a Scrum Master, a manager, when I needed to protect the team most of my time and with a little bit of looking for new. But personally, inside, I'm a product owner. I'm product owner type of leader. And when I moved to be an agile coach, a teacher and trainer, and I'm creating my new own products, I'm much happier and I have much more energy. And I really feel and see how I can go there. So, and you can think about your team being these type of leaders as well. And for Agile Leader, we have absolutely different type of career. When in traditional careers, you follow the lead. So you get your manager, you have good relationship with him, and then he is promoted, you are promoted with him as well. So, and you really, really rely on what relationships you have with him and so on. So you're vulnerable in that case. In Agile and in this leadership thing, there is absolutely different type. It's called circles of influence. First, you're a leader of yourself. You're a leader of one person. Then you grow your personality and you can influence another person. You can bring your ideas, talk with these people and work together. So you're a leader of two people. Then it will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 50, 150, 450, 2,000, 7,000, and then forget what all will be. So this will be how you are growing yourself, like an anthill. You're growing yourself. And the best thing is that no one, no boss who you're working with, no one at all can take it from you. This level of energy, this level of ability, this level of leadership you're growing in yourself, it will stay with you forever. It can be sensed easily by you and by other people. And this is what Agile leadership looks like. This is who powerful, powerless leader is. Thank you.